Alright, what's up YouTube? This is Emu Man, and I've got the video slowed down here for a bit just at the beginning. I just wanted to say I put my first video up and I got some good feedback, and sorry about that. I just wanted to thank you guys for watching my video and giving me some positive feedback, so I decided to make this second one. And it's going to take a second. This video is sped up to 4 times when it gets to the battle, because some points it wasn't really stalled, it's just it took me a long time to kill one of his guys in particular. So let's get started with the action. I'm going to lead off with a Alakazam against his Clefable. And he's going to switch it right out immediately into that Heatran. He's going to get hit by Focus Blast, which thankfully didn't miss, because that liked to happen to me. I guess he's predicting a trick, but he didn't get it. Switches into this Drifblim, thinking I'm choiced, and thinking I'm a half Focus Blast. And I wanted to think that, so I go into Hippowdon, because my plan is to get Stealth Rocks up, to take whatever hit he has, and just to roar him away before he can get enough Calm Minds up, because that's what Drifblim like to do. They like to sweep with Calm Mind, a Pinch Berry, and Hidden Power Fighting and Shadow Ball. So I roar him into this Togekiss, which is weak to Stealth Rock, and can also kill Hippowdon with an Air Slash when I'm in this range. So I go into a Magneto to wall him, and to hit him back, hopefully with a Zap Cannon, or maybe taunt him. He paralyzes me first, and he does eat that Zap Cannon, and it does paralyze him, but now I know I didn't have leftovers. It's because he's got a Lumberry, so he's not paralyzed, and I am paralyzed, and that's bad. And now he's healing himself, and I get paralyzed, and that's real bad, because I've essentially done nothing. In comes his Registeel as I get paralyzed again, and I decide to go into Hippowdon, because I know he's going to Stealth Rock, and I want to take this time to get a free Slack Off and get some HP back. And he tries to kill me with a Seismic Toss, but that doesn't work for him. And I do Slack Off, and now he realizes, oh crap, that thing's just healing. So he goes back into Clefable, and it doesn't have leftovers, as you can see after I hit it with that Earthquake. And in a second I find out why as I go to Starmie. It's a Dual Scream. So now I'm going to try to trick it. And that doesn't work as he switches, but I do get it on the Registeel, and that's even better, because that Registeel is very problematic. And now it's a Scarf Registeel, so it's not too problematic, and it paralyzes my Starmie. And that really doesn't matter, because Starmie is Natural Cure, and he's stuck on Thunder Wave, so that's great. So I switched to Hippowdon, but he predicts that. And I'm just going to, I believe, roar that thing away, but now he's got 2 screens up. And this is his strategy from what I figured, is to get dual screens up and to get that Drifblim in, and to try to Calm Mind sweep. And I'm going to predict he does a Shadow Ball, so he won't try to set up anything I can roar. And I do, and I Slack Off, and then he does try to Calm Mind as I roar. So that worked out perfectly, and now this Togekiss came back in. I'm not going to let it set up or do whatever it wants to do on my Hippowdon, so I go back to Magneto to try to, I think, set up. I try to get a Gravity off so I can hit Zap Cannon easier, and I do. Thankfully, I don't get paralyzed, and now I'm just going to go for a Zap Cannon on this Clefable, and it hits, and he gets paralyzed. And that really just slows him down because his ability prevents him from getting fully paralyzed. But now I just want to make sure he can't stay in and do anything except attack if he has any, and he does have Seismic Toss, so that's alright. I was really just staying in to scout. I'm not going to keep Magneto in to die to a Seismic Toss and Clefable, so I go to Salamence, which can really punch some holes in his team. I really misused Salamence in this battle. If I regret doing anything, it's this. So now I knew I should have gone for Fire Blast because he got that Registeel, and I didn't. I wasted one of my 2 times to bring Salamence out because of Stealth Rocks, and that Registeel comes in, and I was like, ugh. Facepalm. I just wasted a big chance to hit something hard. But anyway, Hippowdon can take Registeel all day, but it doesn't matter because he's going to switch it as soon as he sees it. But luckily I knew he was going to do that, so I roared and see his last thing is a Celebi. That sucks for Hippowdon, and that sucks for me because that's annoyingly wallish. But at least I have Sandstorm. Celebi hates Sandstorm. Go back into my special wall to try to taunt that Celebi, or at least if he switches in that Clefable, like I figure he probably will, stop it with a taunt. And he doesn't switch into Clefable, he tries to Leech Seed, which I couldn't have prevented anyway because he's faster. But then I try to taunt again, and I hit this thing, so it can't Calm Mind, and that's great. I'm going to get out of here because I don't want that thing to get any more. Actually, I don't want to hit me with Hidden Power Fighting, which he does try to do, and which Starmie takes nicely. So now I decided not to try to predict and just try to finish it off because he could have switched into Celebi, but he probably wouldn't. He didn't need to save that thing. So I finish it off, and he goes back into this. Starmie's not going to be able to handle it. So now I bring in the only thing on my team he hasn't seen, which is Toxicroak. And this thing, I decided to substitute as he sets up his screens like I figured he would. Now I'm not going to waste my substitute. I'm going to go for a Focus Punch as he breaks my substitute with Seismic Toss. And look at this. Even though he's got that Reflect Up, it's good enough to it's good enough to take him down that low, which is good. because now he's going to be afraid of it, I guess. I don't know. I think he might switch to my sub, but it doesn't happen. And now I'm just going to go for a gunk shot, which hits because the game loves me. And so now he's down that low. And now this is where I make my game. I think he's going to soft boil because he's going to predict a gunk shot and then he can survive it. So I go for a focus punch as he soft boils, and it doesn't kill him. I was like, oh, come on, I deserve that so much. So then here's where I do it again because I bet he's going to predict that gunk shot and switch into Rage Steel to be immune to it. Or stay in and try soft boiled again. Either way, focus punch. And I hit that Rage Steel. That's great. Because now nothing can really sponge hits from Salamence. Anyway, back into that Togekiss. He finishes me off. I just didn't want him setting up, so I focus punched again. Going back into Salamence to try to get a big hit. And this is where I make a mistake. I was like, he's not bulky enough to survive Dragon Pulse, right? Yes, he is. And he's just going to roost stall me. And I'm like, ugh. Now Salamence is going to die. And I wasted him completely when I could have killed that thing right now. And that thing doesn't die throughout this whole most of this battle. And, oh, that was a good chance to kill it. Salamence dies. I wasted him. That was stupid. So now Starmie, he can finish it off, right? With his super effective moves and special attack? No! He can stall that thing out too. And I'm like, oh my god, you have to be kidding me. So I try one more time, hope for freeze hacks, hope for a critical hit, hope for something. No. Paralyzes me. Which, once again, I've got natural cure. So that's not a big deal unless I stay in. Which I wouldn't be stupid enough to do. Going back out to Probopass, trying to come up with something to stop that thing. I believe, oh yeah, I know he's going to switch into Clefable now, so I try and taunt. And it works like a charm, except I get paralyzed for the third time with Magneto as I'm trying to taunt. Damn it. So now I have a plan. I know he's going to soft boil instead of setting up screens. I need to focus blast him now. I need to kill that thing before it sets up more screens. And it does. And here's where the magic happens. He still thinks it's choiced. And it's got an expert belt, and his Celebi comes in, and I'm able to get a Signal Beam off. That's what I was really hoping for. So now I can just gang up on his last Pokemon, which is that Togekiss, which still proves to be a pain. And it looked like I could have killed him right here with a Psychic, or at least got him low enough for Sandstorm. And he air slashes. I was like, oh no, he was giving me the game, and now he's just going to be able to try and stall more. So that was my second time I could have killed the Togekiss, and I failed. Now Magneto's just going to be doing this thing. The rest of this battle is really me just trying to get a taunt on him with Magneto, get him paralyzed, and do whatever I need to do to get him low enough so Alakazam or Starmie can finish him off. So that's really what's going on for this next 35 seconds. A lot of flinches, a miss with the Zap Cannon, and eventually I get a Zap Cannon off, and then I get him taunted, and then I get him low enough to where I can bring in Alakazam or Starmie. And yeah, so there's just about a minute left in the video. So I forgot to say, I realized that I was playing against TheHindenpeter from Maryland Forums, which is probably the most epic name, like, ever. I don't know if you've ever seen that you watch Family Guy, but I don't know, TheHindenpeter is just a good reference. And now I just decided to put the video back to 2x speed, because this is at the end of the battle where I decide to switch in. Eventually I hit him with one more Zap Cannon, I believe, because once again the game loves me, giving me 50% accuracy. And now that he's low enough, I'm going to bring in Alakazam to really as death fodder, because I know he can't roost because he's still taunted. And I'm going to bring in Alakazam. He's going to probably kill with an Air Slash, and then I'm going to bring in Starmie to finish him off. Except he does miss, and that kind of sucks, but it didn't matter because Starmie would have killed him anyway. Alakazam just ends up getting the kill. So, good game, Hindenpeter. Thanks to everyone who watches these and comments. Not much else to say. Alakazam did a great job for me. Emu Man out.